1 Chronicles 26. The following were divisions of the gatekeepers from the Korahites. Meshelemiah, son of Kor, one of the sons of Asaph. Meshelemiah had sons, Zechariah the firstborn, Jedediah the second, Zebediah the third, Jathniel the fourth, Elam the fifth, Jehohanan the sixth, and Elihonai the seventh. Obed-Edom also had sons, Shemaiah the firstborn, Jehozabad the second, Joah the third, Sakkar the fourth, Nethanel the fifth, Amiel the sixth, Issachar the seventh, and Puelathai the eighth, for God blessed him. Also to his son Shemaiah were born sons who ruled their ancestral families because they were strong, capable men. Shemaiah's sons Othni, Raphael, Obed, and Elzabad. His relatives Elihu and Semachiah were also capable men. All of these were among the sons of Obed-Edom with their sons and relatives. They were capable men with strength for the work, 62 from Obed-Edom. Meshelemiah also had sons and relatives who were capable men, 18. Hosa from the Merarites also had sons. Shimri the first, although he was not the firstborn, his father had appointed him as the first. Hilkiah the second, Tebaliah the third, and Zechariah the fourth. The sons and relatives of Hosa were 13 in all. These divisions of the gatekeepers under their leading men had duties for ministering in the Lord's temple, just as their relatives did. They cast lots for each temple gate according to their ancestral families, young and old alike. The lot for the east gate fell to Shelemiah. They also cast lots for his son Zechariah, an insightful counselor, and his lot came out for the north gate. Obed-Edom's was the south gate, and his son's lot was for the storehouses. It was the west gate, and the gate of Sheleketh on the ascending highway for Shupim and Hosah. There were guards stationed at every watch. There were 6 Levites each day on the east, 4 each day on the north, 4 each day on the south, and 2 pair at the storehouses. As for the court on the west, there were 4 at the highway and 2 at the court. Those were the divisions of the gatekeepers from the descendants of the Korahites and Merarites. From the Levites, Ahijah was in charge of the treasuries of God's temple and the treasuries of what had been dedicated. From the sons of Ladan, who were the descendants of the Gershonites, through Ladan were the family heads belonging to Ladan the Gershonite, Jehieli. The sons of Jehieli, Zetham and his brother Joel, were in charge of the treasuries of the Lord's God temple. From the Amorites, the Izharites, and the Hebronites, and the Uzzielites, Shebuel, a descendant of Moses' sons Gershom, was the officer in charge of the treasuries. His relatives, through Eleazar, his son Rehabiah, his son Josaphiah, his son Joram, and his son Zichri, and his son Shelomith. This Shelomith and his relatives were in charge of all the treasuries of what had been dedicated by King David, by the family heads, who were the commanders of thousands and of hundreds, and by the army commanders. They dedicated part of the plunder from their battles for the repair of the Lord's temple. All that the seer Samuel, Saul, son of Kish, Abner, son of Ner, and Joab, son of Zeruiah, had dedicated, along with everything else that had been dedicated, were in the care of Shelomith and his relatives. From the Israelites, Chenaniah and his sons had duties outside the temple, as officers and judges over Israel. From the Hebronites, Hashabiah and his relatives, 1,700 capable men, had assigned duties in Israel west of the Jordan, for all the work of the Lord, and for the service of the king. From the Hebronites, Jerijah was the head of the Hebronites, according to the family records of his ancestors. A search was made in the 40th year of David's reign, and strong, capable men were found among them at Jazer in Gilead. There were among Jeriah's relatives 2,700 capable men, who were family heads. King David had appointed them over the Reubenites, the Gadites, half the tribe of Manasseh as overseers in every matter relating to God and the king.